All right, let's get to it. What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube world, YouTube land? I am Real Estate Jay, and today, Sound of Freedom. Can we talk about this movie? This movie, and do I recommend you going to go see it? So let's get to it, right? I did not know. I researched this movie about a day before I went. So I heard about this movie for about a month. My uncle sent me a message about it, like, you gotta go see it. I seen people were upset about it. So I said to my wife, we gotta go see it. She was on board as well. And I didn't research it until the day before I seen this movie. I thought it was like a war movie or some like American movie or something like that. But I started seeing it was like, pissing some people off, or, it took quite some time for this movie to come out. And when I read up on it the day before, I said, oh, yeah, I got to see this movie. This movie is about a real true story about Tim Ballard, who I believe I seen YouTube videos on years ago. He has a thing called Operation Underground Railroad. Real true story about a Homeland Security agent. And his task is human trafficking, right? Pretty much child trafficking. People are taking kids from all over the world, and these kids are being human trafficked. They are doing things. They are doing sexual things. They're forcing these kids to do things, and it's absolutely sickening. And so when I sat down and I watched this movie, I encourage you to go see this movie. That is it. The reason why I'm going to encourage you to go see this movie is because this is the real deal that happens. No one wants to talk about it because it is absolutely weird to talk about pedophiles and human trafficking at the dinner table. But this needs to be talked about because at the end of the movie, there is something called a special message, and this tied up everything about this movie. Please stay to the end of that movie. Listen to the special message. First of all, this movie was made in 2018. This was 5 years ago. It has taken this long for this movie to come to the theaters. It had to go to the Supreme Court. It was getting so much pushback because they did not want this movie to come out. And that, my friends, is why I said, after getting done watching this movie and researching it the day before, I said, there's a reason. Your average everyday Joe is not upset about this movie. I'm not upset about this movie. Who's upset about this? The people that are a part of it. Who could be the people that are a part of this? Child trafficking, human trafficking. Well, number one, guys, this is $150 billion business, human trafficking, for children itself. $150 billion. It is becoming the number one thing. It has surpassed the arms trade and getting in front of the drug trade. Who's benefiting from this? And then it clicked. This is not your average everyday Joe that are paying these people at, because it's overseas. And then one of the main destination places for human trafficking is the United States of America. It's one of the destinations that they end up. Wait a minute. This is rich and wealthy people that have money like this. I'm not going to tell you the movie because you have to go and see it. But there's one part in the movie that really, really gave me that aha moment. So this is Operation Underground Railroad with Tim Ballard. He talks about this private island that they bought in Colombia and how this was how they just trapped human traffickers and they were able to save children. And I believe he saved over 3,800 or maybe 38,000. I think 3,800 victims. But on this particular one, they reeled these pedophiles in to a island, private island. I thought about Jeff Epstein. I said Jeff Epstein had a private island, right? And for a while, my wife is a big conspiracy theorist, right? But I'm like, I think she's right. And I think a lot of those documentaries are right. And there's something going on with Oprah. There's something going on with Ellen DeGeneres. There's something going on with a lot of these Hollywood stars. And it's funny how you hear about Hollywood is weird and Hollywood is sick. And I definitely believe these are big players that are playing in this Sound of Freedom. It is a sad movie. It is a very sad movie. My wife cried a few times, right? My wife cries, often, but she couldn't take it, right? She loves kids. And even myself, I didn't cry, but I definitely got to a point where I got very angry and upset and couldn't believe that this is the type of stuff that goes on. Children shipped into containers. We've heard this, but we just ignore it. This is an eye opener for me. It was an awareness video for me. And it's an awareness video for everybody else in the United States and in the world. And this man has went on to adopt actual children from these missions that he's done. So shout out to Tim Ballard. CNN had called this guy a conspiracy theorist. They called him something of QAnon a couple of years ago. They called this man a lot of things. And I think that this was because they wanted to make him look. This man is risking his life and risked his life to rescue children who are being traumatized by adults in a sexual manner. These kids are, he said, as young as 5 years old. They're 11 years old creating these acts. And they are taken from people overseas, and they'll trap them by going into like pretty much these poor areas. And they'll say, hey, we got a modeling agency. Your child would be great if they go ahead and model. And they bring them to a hotel, and that parent never sees their child again. I don't understand why people wouldn't want this movie to come out. But it's the rich and wealthy people. Not rich and wealthy people. I should not say that. The wealthy pedophiles, the rich pedophiles, the people that have money to do these things. I absolutely couldn't believe that this is the type of stuff that goes on. But it's not impossible. And when I read that this is a $150 billion business and this movie took 5 years to come out, I said, you mean to tell me back in 2018, Disney and Netflix shelved this project? Disney. Because I think they acquired Fox or something at the time, and they were in talks of Disney promoting this video. And they did not. I mean, this is a Disney. I mean, hey, you have videos for children. You even have LGBTQ plus minus 25, 90,000 that you will promote in videos. I couldn't even take my child to go see Buzz Lightyear because there's a gay scene in there. But you don't want to make a video about child trafficking, which adults can go and see, and make people aware? This video will make you upset. This video will really, really put things in perspective. We live in a very sick world, unfortunately, but this video needs to be seen by everyone. And I believe it has surpassed $150 million in the box office. So congratulations to them, because they did this on a very limited budget 5 years ago. So imagine how in the hole they have been for 5 years fighting to get this movie in the theaters, paying lawyer fees, and going to the Supreme Court to get this video in here. Thank God for social media. There are times where social media is a good thing, and this is one of those things. Because of social media, we've been able to boost this movie to where people have had to hear the term Sound of Freedom, and people are talking about it and brought attention to it. And now it's 150 million plus. So shout out to social media for doing something that was right this time. It's not always right. But I just wanted to make a review on that. And I wanted to give you my I wouldn't say unbiased because I think this is wrong, but just unfiltered opinion and how sickening this is. And now, like I said, there's talks of Oprah under house arrest for stuff like this. There's Ellen DeGeneres. And Ellen DeGeneres has been out of commission for like almost like a year and a half or something, right? Something like that. I don't know. But like I said, you start tying in people, Harvey Weinstein. You know, it's a lot of sick stuff going on out here. Go see the movie, and let's continue to bring awareness to child trafficking, human trafficking, and let's make this movie a staple for what needs to be seen, because this goes on in America. This goes on in America. They get shipped from Mexico over here. And where are they going? Who are they going with? Sickening. So, like I said, after these videos, this is chess, not checkers. I'm going to see y'all at work.